5 things we learned from Manchester United. 1, Arsenal 1. We have to start off with Declan Rice, who got Arsenal back into the game. Manchester United winning 1-0. Brilliant Bruno Fernandes free kick. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. But Declan Rice, absolutely imperious today. Covered so much ground. His passing was fantastic. I think he dominated at points the Manchester United midfield, which consisted sometimes of Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, a combined age of nearly 100 years old. An old, leggy midfield. I thought Declan Rice looked fresh. He looked sharp. He had the big chance on his left foot to volley it. Could have smashed it into the net. I think he could have done a little bit better with that. But obviously, he scores an absolutely fantastic goal. 74 minutes. It reminds me of his goal against Chelsea last season where he bends it around into the far corner. He's got that in abundance, the ability, particularly with when he opens his body and he side foots things with power. He could be scoring a lot of goals like that. He really could. And gets them back in the game because you feel a Man United loss today for Arsenal would have been devastating. I think particularly in the Champions League. How can Arsenal go against Manchester United? Saliba, Gabriel, all these guys playing, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, they're all playing. It's a full strength side today. Let's make no bones about it. And they go up against potentially Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid after PSV. I think losing to Manchester United in this game would be devastating. And Declan Rice gets them back in the game. And then we have to talk about a massive, massive tackle. Arsenal give the ball away to Rasmus Hojlund. There's probably no point giving him the ball anyway. He's not going to score, so it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, Declan Rice makes an unbelievable world-class tackle. It's a Van Dijk-esque tackle. It's like a big sliding Sol Campbell tackle to recover the ball. Showed leadership in that situation from a defensive point of view, from a goal-scoring point of view. I thought he was absolutely fantastic today. If Arsenal had a few more Declan Rices in the side, as a striker, as a maybe an extra man in defence, in terms of players with his qualities, his leadership, then Arsenal will be a lot closer to Liverpool in the title race. We have to talk about Arsenal's title hopes because they were favourites going into this game. Man United in terrible form. The last time I saw Manchester United at home was against Fulham in the FA Cup. Got bullied by Fulham in the FA Cup at home. It just doesn't happen. Manchester United are there for the taking and not really playing with a recognised striker. Garnacho, Eriksen, Hojlund, Xerxes all replacing kind of Hojlund. Hojlund on the bench today. There was this rotation. And I thought Man United were toothless. They obviously relied on a brilliant Bruno Fernandes free kick. I'm not going to take that away from him. But there's an opportunity here for Arsenal to win this game quite comfortably, in my honest opinion. I know there's no striker, no Saka, but to keep the ball, control the game, and put the Manchester United fans on edge, there's an opportunity here for Arsenal. Absolutely no question about it. I don't think Arsenal really lived up to it today, except for David Raya, who I thought was absolutely exceptional, made some big saves. I thought Moreno was a bit of a nuisance for Manchester United, had a big chance in the first 15 minutes. And of course, Declan Rice. Apart from that, I thought Arsenal were a little bit flat. And if they'd lost the game, it would have been bad in terms of their Champions League, like I've just said. But drawing the game has given Liverpool an extra 2 points. We're talking a 15-point lead, and Arsenal got a game in hand. You feel the way this is going. I always remember Gary Neville on Monday Night Football talking about the end of seasons and how sides kind of they switch off. You can't assume just because Arsenal are currently second in the table that they're going to get 3 points every single week. By the end of the season, they might start losing games because momentum's gone. Liverpool have already wrapped up the title. That's why I think Man City got a good chance coming second this season, because I think City will want to finish strong with new signings in January, going big. Arsenal drawing to Forest, drawing to Manchester United, limping across the lines to second this season. It is a bit concerning. It's not like Arsenal are in amazing form and they miss out on the Premier League again. There'll be an element of despondency that Liverpool have come in out of nowhere and taken the title arguably away from Arsenal's hands, because they are the ones waiting for it when Man City drops off. So the title hopes, it will be a little bit depressing. 2 more points given to Liverpool in a situation where you want to be beaten. West Ham, they have to win that game, and since then they've not been able to win in the Premier League. Obviously they looked unlocked, they looked open against PSV. That's absolutely fantastic. The way they're carrying their Premier League title belief and their kind of foundations in the title race this season, where they've been soft, where they've been lacking in desire, in my honest opinion. Are they going to win the Champions League in that way? I think the Premier League form, the title race form that they've displayed so far this season, I think it will affect them in these big games in the Champions League. I really do. They got a small chance against Atletico Madrid. They got a 0% chance against Real Madrid. Had to talk about Rasmus Hojlund. We're talking about a £75 million striker being left on the bench after 18 games without a goal. The Delo incident in the Europa League was sad to see, really, because he was so livid for not getting the ball from Delo. And he's clearly a frustrated figure. But then I'm selfish. I care about myself as a football fan. I don't really care about a millionaire footballer who's a little bit unhappy about not getting the ball. I'm the one who has to watch Rasmus Hojlund, and I'm not even a Man United fan. I'm just watching as a neutral, watching as an interested participant in the Premier League, and I'm in pain. He makes me want to pull my eyeballs out. I mean, he does some stupid things. He's not good to watch. He isn't physical. People talk about his physical presence. He hasn't got physical presence. He doesn't. He's tall. That doesn't give you physical presence. You know, Peter Crouch was tall, didn't always bully people. Drogba bullied people. Aguero used to bully people, dig into people and shoulder people. Hojlund's got absolutely nothing, and he's stiff like an oak tree. He's really stiff, and he gets his opportunity to score against Arsenal. Big moment for him. The ball comes across him after Arsenal gave the ball away in the box on his left foot. Open your body and shoot and score. These guys train every week, every day for moments like this. Every day. And he waits and he waits and he waits. He must have taken 3 touches and Declan Rice gets back in. This isn't Power League. This isn't amateur football. You can't take that much time in the Premier League. There's always going to be someone super athletic at the top of their game that are in a position to recover even the worst mistakes in football. That is Premier League football. You're going to get crushed. And Hojlund had to get a shot away, had to score. It was so bad. How is he? They used to have Ruud van Nistelrooy, Eric Cantona, Wayne Rooney, Teddy Sheringham, Dwight York, Andy Cole. It goes on, Dennis Law. It goes on and on and on. Even Falcao, Berbatov. Oh, Luke Chadwick scores that. Embarrassing. Hojlund's shocking. Bruno Fernandes is the 4th thing we learned from the game. Superb free kick. He's single-handedly saving Manchester United. They could have lost to Everton. They could have lost to Arsenal without his presence in midfield. So we're talking, was that 6 points? I can't remember if they beat Everton, but we're talking at least, 3, 4, 5 points in the last few months, all saved from Bruno Fernandes. He is the most important player at Manchester United for a very, very long time. Everything goes through him. I still think he's a touch overrated. When he gets to conversations with De Bruyne and stuff like that, I don't think he's there, in my honest opinion. But he's single-handedly keeping Manchester United alive, and you have to say fair play, because they go up and the free kick is of excellent quality. Should David Raya do better? Arguably, but that is a discussion for a different video. The final one, I have to bring up Martin Odegaard. He gets a lot of heat from certain sections of Arsenal fans. I didn't see enough today, really. A couple of moments where he links up play, a little bit soft. I think there'll be a real discussion when Saka comes back. If they get a new left winger, if they get a striker, Arsenal, suddenly the front 3 is occupied by premium talent. And Ethan Nwaneri, who is premium talent, but he's a midfielder. He'll come into the midfield, and in big games, there'll be a discussion about Nwaneri or Odegaard in these big games in the next couple of years, in my honest opinion. Against smaller sides, against Ipswich, for example, I think you could play Odegaard and Ethan Nwaneri and Declan Rice. That's what I think you could do in midfield. But against Man City away next season, I think there'll be a real discussion about Odegaard's ability in midfield to get little moments, little gem moments. Ethan Nwaneri's getting goals that Odegaard isn't in the last few weeks. I think he's influencing things slightly differently to Odegaard. Odegaard, for me, just looks a little bit off of it today. The whole side did, really, except for the 3 that I mentioned. And there we have it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you very, very soon.